Amazing design thinkers, Brother Morris here, and here we are, tab number 1, video number 1. So glad that you're in this class this semester, and I'm really excited about this new direction that we've created within this class. So today we're just going to be basically talking about a few things, more of an introduction, but of course I am going to give you some information. And part of this information is we're going to talk about the design thinking process and some of the mindsets that we need to adopt as part of being a design thinker. And so I'm going to address you, because this is how I really feel about you, is that you are all design thinkers. We are all design thinkers. And believe it or not, we are unlike any other problem solver out there. We're unlike any other out there because we tinker, we test, we use loads and loads of sticky notes. We love Sharpies, and sometimes we get a little bit high on, well, we'll just say high on life because we smell Sharpies so much. We fail a lot, we hit so many walls, and we spend a surprising amount of time not knowing what the solution is going to be to the challenges that we're facing. We spend a lot of time not knowing where we're headed, and yet we continue forward. We continue forward, forging a path to the unknown, allowing our journey to take us, allowing the people to guide us, the people that we're designing for. We allow them to guide us to these hidden recesses in their lives, of the hidden recesses of their schedules, of their way of thinking, of their cultures, and we allow them to take us as a guide on these different aspects of their lives, where we then get to discover the innovation that lies within. Deep within these hidden recesses of their schedules and their brains and how they work and their cultures, we discover the innovation that's already existing. So cool. So as part of that, we become optimists. And because of that optimism, we use that to fuel us, to propel us through endless experiments, endless prototypes and interviews, and failures. So why do we do this? Well, I'm pretty sure that you'll agree with me that we do this because we believe that through it all there is hope. We choose not to believe. We're so stubborn that we choose not to believe the naysayers when they say there's no solution to domestic violence or no solution to human trafficking or world hunger. We are so stubborn that we refuse to believe those naysayers that say there's no solution for that and to any other hairy and scary problems out there. As design thinkers, we adopt the mindset that problems are no longer obstacles. Instead, we adopt the mindset that problems equal opportunities. Yes, as design thinkers, that's exactly what it is. We have that mindset that problems are no longer something that hold us back. Instead, they are opportunities for innovation, opportunities for growth. And really, what it boils down to is the only difference between whether or not we see a challenge as an obstacle or an opportunity. It just boils down to one word, and that one word is choice. Do we choose to believe that our challenge is an obstacle or a problem, or do we choose to believe that it's an opportunity? So design thinking, this is the cool thing about design thinking, is that we now have a process that reflects our beliefs as these stubborn problem solvers. We have a process that allows us to use our skills and our mindsets to find innovation and solve problems in a way that they've never been solved before. And so we have 5 different steps. Now, I know we've been over this in class already, but these 5 different steps are, number 1, empathy. Finding empathy, really empathizing with the people that we're designing for. And number 2, defining what the real problem is. Thirdly, we're going to start ideating, taking all the information that we've gained and start just diverging, have a diversion of thought where we are just exploding with ideas. And finally, we come back down, we whittle it back down as we prototype and discover what works and what doesn't work until we finally have perfected this prototype and we implement it into the world of our end user. Now, for me, I have this built into 3 different phases. They aren't my phases. These are someone else's phases that I've adopted as my own. But we've got inspiration, we've got ideation, and we've got implementation. Now, in the inspiration phase, we've got, empathy, and we're going to start out there. We're going to start getting inspired by the very people that we're designing for. And somewhere between inspiration and ideation, somewhere between there, we are going to define what the real problem is. Once we have that amazing question, that how might we question, we're going to move now into the ideation stage, this phase of ideation, where we're going to start ideating and exploding with ideas on how we can achieve all that we're setting out to achieve. Now, somewhere between ideation and implementation, we are going to enter the phase of prototype. This is where we're starting to create physical or non-physical artifacts that are going to get us closer and closer to the implementation of our solution, where we can actually test it. So now, somewhere within the sweet spot of all 3 of these different bubbles, these different phases, somewhere in this little sweet spot is where we are going to find and discover innovation. We can't just pluck out inspiration and expect that to carry us the whole way. It'll get us so far, but not all the way. And we can't just pluck out ideation or implementation and expect that to be the only thing we do in the design thinking, in the problem solving process. No, we need all three chunks of these in order for us to move forward and discover innovation. So here we are. This is video number 1 of tab number 1. And congratulations, you made it through. So what we need you to do now is 2 things. Number 1, get yourself a binder. Now, it can be similar to this. This is actually a binder that I've created for the field guide, which you'll find online. But find yourself a binder where you can create a cover sheet. Create your own cover sheet, however you want to call it, but it needs to have a cover sheet. And then you get yourself 7 tabs. You'll put those tabs right inside here. So once you have that done, you're now prepared to do this first challenge in this video. And the challenge is to create your own graphic representation of the design thinking process. Now, you can use mine, you can copy mine, because it really isn't mine. I've adopted this from other sources, so you're welcome to use mine, or you can research your own and create your own. But tab number 1 needs to be a graphic representation of the design thinking process. Once you have that complete, you can tuck that in. You can 3-hole punch it and tuck it into behind tab number 1, and you're done. Now, this is going to help you in a couple different ways. Number 1, you're going to have a more refined view of what the design thinking process is, but also you get to now use this very thing to help teach a concept to 4 different people. You have a visual representation of what the design thinking process is. So we're helping you on what to teach those 4 people that you need to have taught by the end of this week, by the way, because I assigned this last week, and so this is week number 2, and so by Friday you need to have taught 4 people. All right. Well, thanks so much for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to talk to your TA or email me directly. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you very much.